Time for part 2 of the glugs using glycerin. How to make your glugs highly attractive, highly soluble in the water. Breakdown's about 1 minute. You can make it longer depending on how thick you make it. This one's going to be my fishy mix. All kinds of extra additives mixed in with it. So let's get started. Okay, the first ingredient on the far right is CC Moore pre-digested fish meal. That's going to help thicken this mix up. The next one is spirulina. That's going to add a nice dark color to this. Using an Ultra Essence crayfish. We're going with a fishier mix today. Feedstem XP, I always add that. Just seems like it's a nice feeding trigger. The liquid glycerin is going to be your base. And also we're using Bloodworm Range Boosted Naturals from CC Moore. And we will get started here with the scale. Let me come over here. Okay. So we have, let me turn this on here. Okay, like I said in my other video, you don't need a digital scale, it just makes it easier. Right now I have this zeroed out, including the bull weight. So what we want to do, we're shooting for about 75 grams. So I have that on my grams of the liquid glycerin. This is going to be the base for our glug. So slowly pour this in, because you will notice it will go very quickly. Last one actually ended up going over a little bit. So we're shooting for about 75. Okay, that's good right there. We're at 76. Okay, next thing we want to add in is going to be our Feedstem XP. Like I said before, this is going to be a feeding trigger. And we're going to measure 5 mLs out with our syringe here. You can get these at any pharmacy, or you can buy them at, I think, like Tractor Supplies, any farm type equipment places. So I just drew up 5 mLs of this and just squirt that in there. Just do it a couple times and make sure you got everything out. Okay, next thing we're going to add in our crayfish flavor. And I'm just going to guesstimate here. I want to shoot for about 2.5 mLs. Okay, just a little bit. Just enough to give it a different flavor. Next step is our bloodworm, liquid bloodworm. Now I'm going to measure this one out. I'm just going to use a teaspoon. You can really smell that crayfish. It's really strong. So let me put that higher so I can see it. Okay, make sure you shake this really good beforehand because it is a concentrate. Okay, there's 5 mLs, 10 ml, and 15 mLs. So that's what we're going to do with that right there. Okay, we're not really mixing anything yet. I want to add just a little spirulina into the mix. This is just going to darken it up. This is a really dark green, really fine. You can see just by putting your spoon in there how it sticks to it. I'm just going to use a little plastic spoon. This is probably just, we're at 98 grams right now, so you can kind of see how much we're adding in. So we added 4 grams of that in. I'm actually going to bump it up to 5. Okay, it went just a little bit over, but that's okay. Like I said, we're just trying to, really, doesn't have to be exact. Like I said, this is going to disperse in the water, so it's not a huge deal. Okay, next step, we want to mix all this. Just mix all that so the flavors combine. You can see here, It's starting to turn into a really dark color. Okay, make sure my camera's far enough away. You can see how liquidy that is. The spirulina just basically was, it's a great stimulant, plus it also basically dyes everything to that dark green color, which is great. That's what we're shooting for. My last video I used fluoro yellow. Didn't really see that too well in the water, so that's why I want to focus on a darker color. Now, next thing we got to do is add in our pre-digested fish meal, and we're just going to start doing tablespoon by tablespoon till we get it to the consistency we want. I think I ended up putting around 7 or 8 in last time. This is a very fine powder, and plus it's water soluble, so this is going to be great for what we're using it for. It really takes a while before this starts to really thicken up. And you want to make sure this is mixed really well, because if not, you don't want it to be clumpy and get clogged up in your container. Okay, put another real big tablespoon in there. That was probably about 2 tablespoons because they were flowing. Like I said, just keep mixing and mixing. Similar to making boilies, only we're never going to get to the paste stage. And technically, if you want to, just keep adding the fish meal, and if you do want to get to a paste stage. Right now this is getting pretty thick. I'm going to cut camera just so I can make sure this is really mixed up well. Okay, I am pretty much done. I actually put too much fish meal in, so I had to add more glycerin. You can see how nice and thick that is now. Really nice thick. Pretty cool looking color it came out with. It's almost like a olive green. Like I said, that spirulina will really darken any bait you add it to. If we would keep going, this would turn into a paste by adding more fish meal, but we're not going to. Sorry, I went off camera there. So basically, that's really thick right now. I'm going to go ahead and put this into the container, and then we'll put some on our boilies. Actually, I'll just dip it in here for now, then I'll add it to a container later. But you can see how nice and thick that is. That's going to be a nice slow leakage off the boilie. So we'll put these in, and let me just grab I got some boilies around here. Yep. Okay, I'm going to do some Odyssey X. These have green lip mussel in them. I'm just going to put a couple in there. Let's see here in the bowl, and I'm just going to coat them. Like I said, you can make this as thin or as thick as you want. That's the nice part about this. And keep in mind, pre-digested fish meal is very soluble in the water. So this will start to break down instantly as soon as it hits the water. Okay, let's get it to the tank and we'll try this out. Okay, everything's set up. I am going to get the boilies out of here. Put the first one in. And the second one. Since these are really thick, it's going to take a little bit longer to start to really break down. You can see how it's starting to leak off already though. Since it's a darker color, it should show up better than last video. Let me go up here a little bit with this. Yeah, you can see real nice reaction there now. Pretty cool. Snap a few photos here. It takes a while, but slowly but surely that'll keep leaking off. Like I said, since I made it thicker, it's going to take a lot longer for that to really break down. So I'm just going to zoom back out here. You can see how it's spreading on the bottom too. You have a nice little cloud going on. I'm just going to let this run, that way you can see how long this takes till it stops. We'll zoom back in here. So you have constant movement with this. It never really stops till, we've been going on, what, 3 minutes now? It's still going. So we'll just let it run and see how she looks. I'm going to go ahead and tap one of these boilies so you can... You see that's stuck to my finger now. Now you can really see, once you hit that, that attraction coming off of there. So when a fish comes along and hits that, see what happens here. We hit the other one in the back here. I just threw it on pop-up this time. I didn't do a rig or anything, but just hit that a few times and you can see just how soluble that is. It's spreading all over the place. It's pretty cool. I'm just going to let this run so you can see how long this lasts. We're going on 4.5 minutes now. Bottom's going pretty good. Got a pellet from the last video. Pretty cool. Let me zoom in so you can see the just slowly leaking off that boilie. Also, if you have current in the water, this will dissolve a little bit quicker, obviously. But just imagine how far that attraction is going to go throughout the water. In person, really the whole tank has some sort of film on it now. It's hard to see on camera. But you can just see the clouds just spreading everywhere. Right in front of me, the cloud is really intense now. And I hit the baits once. I'm just going to hit the baits again just to represent a fish, coming in and pecking at it, whether it's a bluegill or a carp, or any fish for that matter. Get that back together here. So you can see what a cloud that makes. A lot better visual compared to the fluoro one. The fluoro, you got to realize, it's still in the water. The scent's there, everything's there. Because I made this a really dark color, when you have that in a light area, it just really shows up better on camera. So the fluoro one's going to work just as good. This one I think will work better because it has more traction into it. I know that spirulina is a really good attractor. Feeds some XP. Just a combination of everything seemed to really work for me last year. I've been playing around with these ever since I saw some of the other videos on this. And we're 6 minutes and 40 seconds into this. You can see that glug's still sticking to the one really good. I'm going to zoom out here. Oops, zoom out. And I'm just going to hit this to really dissolve it. I'm just going to hit both of them to really dissolve everything. Just kind of show just how much this clouds up. The entire tank is clouded. So you can see this is definitely something that's going to hone the fish in on your area. You can see you can't even really see the background anymore. So this is definitely a proven winner for me last year. In the fall, I just started playing around with this. Wanted to share this one with you. So this is going to be the one of the glugs I've made with CC More products. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.